Let's get everybody situated here. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, that'll work for now. Okay. While everybody's joining, I'll just get all my stuff kind of organized here. Let's see. Okay, there's that. All right, now we're good. Okay. This sugar, flour, salt, yeast, butter. Scale. I think we're good. Good morning, somebody, whoever's joining. Instructions, mail. Okay, melted butter. Good morning. Oh, welcome everybody. How we doing today? Please say hello. Tell me where you're from in the chat. Good morning from NYC. We're from the South. Today it's t-shirt weather. Here, check it out. Sunny. I don't know how the weather is down there in New York, or up there, I should say, in New York. But today, hey, Jason H, Devil Flu, S.A., San Antonio maybe? Eagle, what's up? New York rains a lot, doesn't it? So this morning we have a request. Tomorrow we're gonna cook for a baby shower or baby reveal, one of the two, I don't know. 25 people, and they changed what they wanted from pretzels to pretzel dogs. So we're gonna try to recreate an Auntie Anne's style pretzel dog from the mall. Let me just turn off my stove here. I'm just melting some butter behind me. So let's get started. Please feel free to shout out any questions or whatever. We'll take lots of breaks while we do this. Just opening some yeast. All right, so when we're making pretzels or pretty much any kind of dough, the first thing we want to do is bloom the yeast. And that's like you're checking the yeast to see if it's alive. So it's usually water, yeast, and sugar or honey. So we're gonna start that. So we're gonna get 1 cup of warm water. Where's my measuring cups? Under there. From our sink here. Narva J, how you doing? I can tell my mother. Narv, you're watching. You could cook it yourself. Why not? It's easy. So easy, Narv. You could make this. I'm a little jittery this morning. Okay. Some kind of a Tupperware or bowl that has a lid. You can saran wrap, but a lid's easier. So, here comes 1 cup of warm water. Just a little splash more. Like that. And yeast. Active dry yeast. Just a friendly reminder, by the way, if you're enjoying this, yeah. Jason, thank you for that. I just like to cook, so I'm happy you guys are here, but if only 2 people are here, I'm still happy because I'm not cooking by myself. 1 teaspoon of yeast, 1 cup of water. Oh, by the way, guys, if you ever use this stuff, put it back in the fridge when you're done. If you just put this in your cupboard, it'll die. Okay, back in the fridge. And then finally, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. And this is like for the yeast to eat. They're gonna eat it, and they're gonna release like a carbon dioxide gas, and that's the bubbles that you're gonna see. And I'm just gonna give it a quick whisk. I don't have a whisk, so this is my kind of like ghetto whisk. Guys, listen to Jason. He says to like and subscribe. He's smart. Okay, there's your yeast water. That's gonna get set aside for about 5 minutes while we measure out our dry ingredients. So I'll just kind of set this back there. Okay. I personally prefer using scales over cups for dry ingredients, you know? But let's do it. Let's pretend you guys don't have a scale. We'll just use our measuring cups. So, dry ingredients time. Let me just dry out my measuring cup. 2 3/4 cups of flour. Okay, all right. So I'm using bread flour today. No, I guess I'm using all-purpose. I don't know. They're all okay. The bread flour has a little bit more gluten and like protein, so this might be chew a little bit softer than the bread flour. Okay, so here we go. 1 cup. See, it doesn't seem so exact. That's why I like the scale. And 2 cups. And it's like another dirty dish, you know? And do I have a 3/4 cup? No, I don't. So I guess we'll just do a 1/2 and a 1/4. I think that's 3/4. Okay, there's a 1/2. And finally, a 1/4. Okay, that was probably the hardest part. Okay. So other dry ingredients in dough are usually, let's see here, salt. Yes, salt. So we're using this kosher salt, which I love, nice and salty. What's you guys' favorite, what's your favorite thing to dip your pretzels in? I'm just curious. I personally like mustard. Maybe that's the European in me. Okay, one teaspoon salt. That doesn't seem like enough. I'm gonna do a little bit more. I'm doing like half a tablespoon. Whatever you want. Okay. And that's it for the dry ingredients. So I'll just use my fork and kind of mix that salt in there. Me too. Oh, nice, Jason. I also like the just the plain cinnamon sugar when you take the pretzel and dip it in that for like a dessert style pretzel. I like that too. Okay. All right, that's done. So we got our dry and we got our wet. No foam yet. maybe another 1 or 2 minutes. Oh my, OMG, yes, cinnamon. You know what? While we wait for our yeast to bloom, let's make our cinnamon sugar. Might as well. So I'm just gonna set that to the side. And we got easiest recipe in the world, cinnamon and sugar. And then I'm just gonna ask my assistant what the proper ratio is. Let's say I think we got about a half. Let's make about a half a cup. So I just go over here to my other window. Hey ChatGPT, can you give me a recipe for cinnamon sugar for pretzels? I've got about a 1/4 cup of sugar on me. All right, let's see what it says. Dun, 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 dun. 1/4 cup, 1 teaspoon. Oh, and a pinch of salt. I don't usually do that. Okay, it says we can do 1.5 teaspoon if we like it strong. So I'm gonna do that. Okay, piece of cake. So I got a little container. Now we gotta rinse our measuring cup out. Another reason I don't like using measuring cups. Much rather do this on the scale. But whatever, right? Okay, 1/4 cup of sugar, according to chat. And for the cinnamon, 1.5 teaspoons. So, or we could do 1/2 tablespoon. Why not? That's a 1/2 tablespoon in. And don't forget, it told us to use a pinch of salt, which I totally get. Salt, especially in things that have things like your breakfast oatmeal or chocolates, cakes, anything like that. Salt will really bring out the flavor. Oh yeah, Jason. Oh, he's on it. Jason's on it. That's exactly right. Okay. Cinnamon sugar done. Throw our lid on it. Yeah, that looks legit. Cinnamon sugar. Perfect. Okay, so I'll just put this away. Now, normally I mix my dough without mixers because a lot of y'all don't have like commercial mixers, but it's the morning time and I'm super lazy, so I'm gonna use my mixer. So But you can do this by hand if you don't have a mixer. So let's get that set up. Maybe I'm just gonna turn the camera here. Let's see how that goes. Okay. Yep, looks like you guys can see. What's today, Friday? You guys have any weekend plans? Anything doing anything exciting? Maybe no. Okay. All right. Mixer time. So I'm just gonna push this back. Gonna wipe this bowl out a little bit dusty. I haven't used it in a bit, because I usually do it by hand. Okay. It's not a lot, but there is foam starting in the center, so we good. So I'm gonna pour the water in first, and then I'm gonna pour the flour in like 1/3 at a time on the mixer. So let's go. In that goes. Lock it in. And we'll get ourselves a nice big spoon here. I love these little kitchen clocks from IKEA because they give me a sense of time. So for stuff like this, you just twist it and whatever. Gives you some time. I also like the temperature setting because when I'm proofing doughs like today, I know about this dough. If it's proofing at this temperature, it'll be a certain amount of time. So I love these little, this is from IKEA. Maybe it was like maybe it was $5. Okay. And we'll just start adding our flour in here. And you want to start it on low, by the way, because if it's on high, it'll just spit the flour out and you'll have a big mess. Done. And I got my timer going, so I know when that timer gets down to 0, I'm done. Like 5 to 7 minutes of mixing. I might stop it a couple times to push the sides down though. You use a spatula for that. And well, it looks like we have some more people. What part of Europe are you from? Yes, I plan to rest. Italian heritage. Ah, JG, that's right. My mom's Italian and my dad was Irish and German from like Austria. All right, yeah, we got some stuff on the side, so we just turn it off, push it back, and then just scrape down the sides. Just like that. down, lock it. And now I just up the speed a little bit because all the flour is in there and it won't get spit out. Okay, that's good. So we're relaxing this weekend. How about Jason, where are you from? Looking good, looking good. I'm starting to get hungry right now, actually. We also have some butter going because we're gonna add that in too, towards the end. We'll do like a tablespoon of butter just to kind of give it some like moisture and so it doesn't really like stick to our bowl. Born in the UK, raised in Florida. Ah, nice. Who's your football team from the UK? From what I understand, you guys are very serious about that. I turned it up because I want to see some like slapping of the dough against the sides, which is doing now. And about 3 or 4 more minutes of that. In the meantime, we got our bowl ready that we had the water in. We'll put it in this for proofing, and I'm gonna do, now this is based on your temperature. Today it's 19 degrees there. So I'm gonna proof this for like 2-3 hours in a bowl on the counter before I roll it out and shape it into pretzels. Okay. So maybe you like American football, Jason. Personally, I like American football and basketball. I grew up watching baseball, but there's too many games and it's like too long. The games are too long to watch when you're busy, you know? American football just once a week and maybe twice a week during college season. Get a little bit of tea. All right, check on our dough. Looking good, maybe just 1 or 2 more minutes. It's like slapping against the sides now. It like forms a long strand of slaps, which means it's about done. Let's check it. So window pane test wise, it's not quite there, but almost. Maybe 1 more minute. Giants and the Jets. Oh yeah. Didn't the Jets win the Super? Oh no, that was maybe Philly won the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. Okay, timer says we're done. Dough looks ready. Let's get it off the hook. All right, put you guys back here. Dun, dun, dun. So here's what we're working with. in 2 pieces, but we can fix that. That's what the texture looks like. This is gonna make some nice pretzels. Feels really good. Yeah. That Super Bowl was kind of boring. You know? The Seahawks Super Bowl. What's up, paranormal? It was, yeah. All right. That's what it looks like. By the way, I didn't mention what I'm doing is I was kind of creating a kind of a gluten surface. So I pull the dough a little bit and I fold it in to pinch on itself like that. And then I pinch the bottom closed like this. This is going to trap air inside the dough. So that gives it that we call crumb with like air inside the dough. But this is good. Now, we got this is our proofing container because the dough is going to at least double, right? So in my proofing container, I've got my butter, about 1 tablespoon. I should measure this out actually. Let me just rinse this real quick. Okay. Because I want to save some of this butter for, you know, painting on the pretzels after they come out. So, and this is just going to keep your dough from sticking, you know, to the sides. So it'll be nice and easy to pull out. Okay, I'm gonna put it in top side down. Swish it around and then flip it over, swish it around. And I'm gonna make sure that butter gets like at least halfway up the bowl. This will make it really easy to pull out for you. Okay, I just rinse my hands off. Now I got butter hands. Okay. That's right. Food ASMR challenge. Yeah, Paramount. My cousin was on the stream the other day and he's like, you need a microphone. So that'll be next. I'm gonna buy like a clip microphone and then we'll get that ASMR going for you. Okay, lid. And I like to put my temperature gauge right on top of my dough. Then I always know what the temperature is around my dough for proofing. I've been living in Japan, so I've been using Celsius. I forget what this is in Fahrenheit. Let me check. 19 degrees. 19 C to F. 66 degrees in my house. Maybe closer to 70. So this is gonna go here. And I'm gonna come back about 11 o'clock for part 2, where we actually form the pretzel dog. Ginny, what's up? Practice run for JG's pretzel dog. This is for you guys. All right, so we'll see you back in a couple hours and we'll shape and bake the pretzels. All right, see ya, y'all. Later, Jason. Have a good one.